Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Kijana again for some more of these fight predictions. So this week, I'm just gonna run through these predictions. I'm not gonna talk too much about them. I'm not gonna go into too much depth. I'm just gonna roll with whoever I think's gonna win. I did go 10-2 on my last predictions. I didn't get to post the videos. I got busy last week with just personal shit. So yeah, but yeah, I went 10-2. I didn't rank on DraftKings this week, which fucking sucked. It's because I knew who was gonna win, but just didn't match everybody up the correct way. This is actually the first week I haven't ranked in a while, so it was surprising. I thought I was gonna Rose I wasn't expecting Rose Namajunas to lose. I knew Jessica Andrade was good in a powerhouse, but I just felt like her stamina wasn't gonna do well versus Rose. Rose was she's still, in my own opinion, I feel like Rose is still the better fighter. But yeah, anyways, I was going off topic. I went 10-2. It was some fun fights to watch. Sad to see Anderson Silva lose, but I also didn't like how disrespectful the crowd in Brazil was. It was kind of fucked up. I felt like Anderson Silva should have stepped in and said something, but he was also in agony, so I could see why he didn't say anything or tell the crowd to congratulate his opponent. But anyways, Anderson Silva's the GOAT. We all know that, but I feel like he should have retired a few years ago. So, going to the prelims, Julio Arce versus Julian Erosa. This is a grappler versus striker matchup. Julian Erosa, he has decent striking. He does leave his chin out there to be hit. He's the taller fighter. I think he's 6 foot. I want to say that Arce is only 5'6" or 5'7", so he's definitely going to have the reach advantage and the height advantage, which it sometimes matters, sometimes doesn't. It really depends on who you're fighting. But Julio Arce, he's a really good grappler. He has really good submission game. Excuse me. But he did lose his last fight. His striking's pretty good too. So I'm not going to go too much in depth in this one. I feel like Julio Arce is going to get the job done. If he doesn't submit him within the second or third round, he's going to get the decision victory. That's my own opinion, of course. So yeah, Julio Arce with the win. Second fight, Zach Cummings versus Trevin Giles. Zach Cummings is 22-6. He has 5 KOs and 11 subs. Trevin Giles is 11-0. And he has a 100% takedown ratio in the UFC within his 2 fights, which is weird because he's a wrestler, but he has really good striking. Trevin Giles actually has pretty good striking. He's a powerhouse. He's got some power behind those punches, and he's a pretty well-rounded fighter. Very young, very hungry. He has 2 KOs in the UFC already. Those people that he fought, I don't think that they're gonna be as talented as Zach Cummings. Zach Cummings has been around for a minute now. Cummings has really good sub game. His striking's all right, and his wrestling's pretty decent. But he's the older fighter, and I feel like Trevin Giles will get the job done, whether it's a decision victory or a KO or a TKO within the first or second round. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll with Trevin Giles. Zach Cummings is 7-10 in the UFC though, so he has 3 sub wins and 1 KO. The rest decisions, and he has lost by sub and 2 decisions in the UFC. He hasn't been knocked out in the UFC, so this might be his first TKO or KO loss. Zach Cummings actually has a decent chin. He doesn't get hit too much. Or I'm not gonna say he doesn't get hit too much, but he knows how to kind of roll off the punches a little bit and not take too much punishment. Or he's kind of a smart fighter too. He knows when to try to take you down, or if he's not doing well, stand up. So I still feel like Trevin Giles is going to get the job done. He's just, like I said, he's a younger fighter, and he wants to get this third victory in the UFC. Next fight, Danny Roberts versus Michel Pereira. Danny Roberts has really explosive, fast twitch muscle. This guy's lean. He comes in shape every fight. He's had some bad luck in the UFC. He's been up and down, but I've always been a fan of Danny Roberts. He has 7 KOs and 5 subs. He's a 16-4 record. The only fight that I can really think of that he didn't do that good in was the Mike Perry fight. He did good in the beginning, and it felt like Mike Perry just gassed him out. Like he just kept pressuring him. And I noticed that's the one thing that gets Danny Roberts is if someone can pressure him If someone's a powerhouse and can pressure Danny Roberts, it's gonna be done for him. It's gonna be done for Roberts. That's the only thing that I can think of that gonna actually really beat Roberts. And if someone can get him on the ground, because I don't feel like Danny Roberts has the best ground game. He is 5-3 in the UFC. Michel Pereira, he's young, he's quick, and he doesn't have the best fight IQ. I watched some of his fights the other day for the first time, and he's doing acrobatic shit and just like flips and just a lot of acrobatic unnecessary movement that's a waste of energy. You don't need to be doing all this stuff. It looks cool, it looks like movie type shit, some John Wick type shit. You don't need to be doing none of that though to get a win. Stick to the basics, man. Stick to the basics. I'm just saying from my own opinion, my own humble opinion, that stick to the basics if you want to get the win. Especially in the UFC, these motherfuckers aren't gonna be falling for your flips off the cage and all this acrobatic movement. You might get lucky here and there and hit somebody with something like that, but I don't feel like Danny Roberts isn't the stupid fighter. He's not gonna fall into some stupid ass backflip or front flip shit that you're gonna do and you're gonna magically get a KO or something over him. If he ends up KOing Danny Roberts, I would be really surprised. I'm gonna roll with Danny Roberts in this fight. I also feel like Michel Pereira is going to gas out just for the simple fact he's doing all this acrobatic movement that's unnecessary. He doesn't need to be doing all this stuff. Hopefully his coaches tell him not to do this in the UFC, especially for his debut. So yeah, Danny Roberts gets the win, higher fight IQ. I feel like it'll probably go to decision or he'll get a TKO win within the third round. Next fight, Patrick Cummins versus Ed Herman. I honestly don't know why these guys are even in the UFC fighting anymore. Patrick Cummins is 10-5, 4 KOs and 2 subs. Ed Herman is 24-14, 6 KOs and 13 subs. Yeah, man, these dudes, I don't even really want to talk about this fight. Patrick Cummins is a wrestler. Ed Herman is, I guess, a striker. He has powerful hands. I watched a few of his fights. I haven't watched a lot of them, probably like 2 or 3 of his fights. I watched Patrick Cummins a few of his fights as well. He was actually going to get kicked out of the UFC. Patrick Cummins was homeless for a while. A lot of people don't know that. He was going to get kicked out of the UFC, and he came back and got a win. I can't remember who he won against, but he got a win, which basically saved his career, and he ended up getting another. I want to say he ended up getting another fight contract for a few more fights. So maybe this is his last fight. Who knows? But if Ed Herman hits him with one of those, Patrick Cummins will probably go out. He's lost by KO 3 times in the UFC. Once was by DC, Daniel Cormier. So, I mean, yeah, he's lost by KO against some pretty good people. I mean, not pretty good. Daniel Cormier is the fucking champ, you know? That was his first fight in the UFC, I think. He has 4 wins. He has 5 losses in the UFC and 4 wins. Ed Herman is on a 3-fight losing streak. He's lost 9 in the UFC. He 3 KOs and 2 submission losses. He's 37 years old, man. I just don't feel like these guys should be fighting anymore. Nobody really wants to watch this fight. It's just a filler. It's really just a filler. I'm going to stay away from this just for betting purposes. I do feel like Patrick Cummins is going to use his grappling and his wrestling. His wrestling is decent. It's not horrible. So I feel like he'll use the grappling and his wrestling, and hopefully he'll get a bunch of takedowns on DraftKings and get some people paid, you know. So I'm going to roll Patrick Cummins. I actually wrote some of this shit down this time. I ain't going to be able to remember all this. I should have put it on my phone. It would have been a lot easier. But next fight, Desmond Green. I don't know who Desmond Green's fighting. I'm going to have to look because I did not write that down. Who is Desmond Green fighting? Hold up one sec, y'all. All right, well, I'm going to skip Desmond Green's fight for a second. I'm going to go to Michael Trezano and Grant Dawson. Michael Trezano is 9-0. He won his last fight against Luis Pena. Trezano is just a tough fighter, man. That guy's got pretty good striking. He's got good wrestling defense. He's just a tough kid, man. And Grant Dawson is 13-1, 3 KOs, 9 subs. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He's got good ground game, pretty good submission game too as well. His striking is average. He's a young fighter as well. This fight could actually go either way. This is really a 50-50 fight. It's really about whoever shows up that day, man, or that night, because Trizano, man, that's a tough motherfucker. He's not going to give up on himself. He's going to keep coming, and Grant Dawson is going to keep looking for those takedowns. So, I mean, it could really go either way. This was a hard fight for me to even choose, but I am going to roll with Grant Dawson. I feel like this is going to be Michael Trizano's first loss. So, yeah. He's about to be 9-1. Grant Dawson is going to grind him out. He's going to go for the submissions. I don't think he's going to finish Trizano. I feel like Grant Dawson is going to get a decision win in this one. But he is going to get takedowns on him. Trizano's going to get taken down in this fight a few times. I know that. That is going to happen. Yeah. Shit. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Desmond Green fight. I don't know who Desmond Green's fighting. I'm on the UFC website, and it's not showing who he's fighting. So I'm just going to skip that one. Let's go to Megan Anderson and Felicia Spencer. This is honestly such a one-sided fight. Felicia Spencer, I think she has like 6 weeks. She got the call 6 weeks ago or some shit like that. So, and this is just a really one-sided fight. Megan Anderson's 9-3. She has 4 KOs, 2 subs, 1 win and 1 loss in the UFC. She's coming off that last win, the fucking toenail to the eye. It wasn't really even a fight. It was just kind of a fluke accident. It wasn't her fault, and it wasn't the other chick's fault either. It's just shit happens, you know. Felicia Spencer's 6-0. I watched some of her highlights the other day. She's an average fighter, man. She really should be going down weight class. She's pretty short for this weight division. Megan Anderson is fucking 6 foot, I think, maybe 6'1". She's tall, and she's got really nice kicks, like really nice kicks. But she does tend to get taken down. I watched some of her shit too before she was even in the UFC, and she does tend to get taken down. So hopefully she's been working on that. I feel like Megan Anderson, or Megan, is that how you say her name? I think it's Megan. Megan Anderson gets the job done. She's probably going to get a decision win. If not, she might piece her up in the first or second round. I feel like she's going to piece Felicia Spencer up. She's going to fuck her up, man. She's got the reach advantage, the height advantage. And even if Felicia Spencer gets her on the ground, she's not going to be able to keep her on the ground. She couldn't keep, some of her last fights, she couldn't keep the chicks on the ground, whoever she was fighting. I don't know who she was fighting. I wasn't really paying attention. I just wanted to look at her stuff. But she couldn't keep them on the ground, and they were almost the same height as her. So, I mean, yeah, you're not going to be able to keep a 6'1" body on the ground if you're only half that. If you're 5'6", like 5'7", you know? It's just not going to happen. It's not the way the cookie crumbles, you know? But Megan Anderson's going to get the job done. I'm rolling with her. That's actually one of my more for sure picks. Next fight, Davy Ramos versus Austin Hubbard. Davy Ramos is 9-2. He's on a 3-fight win streak. We all know his last fight didn't count, man. He fought John Gunther. John Gunther is cool, man. Kind of feel sorry for the dude a little bit. But yeah, like, it's John Gunther. It's John Gunther. Like, that wasn't a fight for Davy Ramos. Not for that high a caliber submission specialist. It's just not, man. Davy Ramos is on a different fucking level. I don't know why they're giving him people like that. They should be giving him people that are more of his level of fighting. I don't know why they did that. That was just I don't know. That was a stupid fight in my own opinion. But yeah, he's fighting Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard, he trains with great UFC fighters like Corey Sandhagen, Curtis Blades, Neil Magny. I think he's fighting on like 1 month or 6 weeks notice. He's got wrestling in decent hands, but I'm gonna roll with Davy Ramos just because I can't see this other guy trying to take Davy down or something. I feel like he's gonna try and keep it on the feet, but Davy Ramos is still gonna get you on the ground, damn man. That motherfucker, he's tough. That dude's a tough Brazilian, man. He's gonna get you on the ground and he's gonna submit you. He's gonna submit you. That's all there is to it. He's gonna submit you, and yeah, Davy Ramos gets the win by submission. If not, he might even get it in the first round, honestly. Like, Davy Ramos is a beast, man. They just haven't really given him really big names yet to get his name up there. They keep giving him these, like, these debuters or these people that are just coming in, it's kind of like you got to give them someone better than that. This guy's good, man. I want to say he's not an Olympian. I can't remember if he's an Olympian or not, but yeah, his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is legit, man. Okay, we're going into that was one of the main cards, so I forgot to say that was part of the main card. But we're going into the next fight. Charles Oliveira versus Nick Lentz. We all know these guys have already fought. This is going to be their third fucking fight. Nobody really wants to see Charles Oliveira fight Nick Lentz again. It's another filler. I'm not really sure what the UFC is doing with some of these fights, but I feel like Charles Oliveira is going to get a submission victory. Nick Lentz is a tough guy, but Oliveira's been looking good, man. Nick Lentz looked pretty good in his last fight, but Oliveira is just another type of breed, man. That guy, the only way you beat Oliveira is pressure. Stand up pressure and keep the fight standing. Because if Oliveira gets a hold of you, it's done. It's a done deal if Oliveira gets a hold of you. So Oliveira wins a submission, second round. Might even be the first. I can't see Nick Lentz I can't see Nick Lentz having a chance versus Oliveira. Like, I just can't. Excuse me. Next fight, Antonio Carlos Jr. versus Ian Heinisch. So Antonio Carlos Jr. is supposed to be the favorite fighter in this one. I actually like Antonio Carlos Jr., but I'm gonna roll with Ian Heinisch just because this guy's tough, man. I read his backstory, how he went to prison and shit like that, off being like a drug dealer. I can't remember all this shit, but that guy's just a tough guy, man. So a lot of his stuff is he's like self-taught for some of his shit too, like his striking and stuff. So I feel like Ian Heinisch is gonna get the job done. I feel like he's probably gonna get the decision victory. He's gonna grind Antonio out. Antonio's gonna gas in the third round, and Ian Heinisch is gonna get the decision victory. But I mean, both these guys are tough. If Carlos Jr. can't get him to the ground, he'll get him to the ground at least once. But I feel like Ian Heinisch is just gonna keep getting back up to his feet. That guy's a tough motherfucker. He's gonna keep getting back to his feet. Carlos Jr. is not gonna be able to keep him there, and if he does, he does. But I highly doubt he's going to be able to. He's probably gonna gas within the end of the second round. Ian Heinisch gets the dub for sure. Aspen Ladd versus Sijara Eubanks. I'm rolling with Aspen Ladd. There's not even really anything else I gotta say about this fight. I'm rolling with Aspen Ladd. Aspen Ladd's a well-rounded fighter. Her last performances were impressive. Sijara Eubanks I don't feel like she has much to bring to the table or much to offer. She's all right. She's an all right fighter. Yeah, but there's not really. Aspen Ladd's 7-0. She's about to be 8-0. Sijara Eubanks is 5-2. She's ranked number 2. Aspen Ladd's ranked number 6. Aspen Ladd wins. She wins this fight in every aspect. I feel like she'll win it standing. She'll win it on the ground. She'll win it by decision. So if you can win in every aspect, then I mean, that's a for sure pick. That's a good parlay pick. That's a really good parlay pick, in my own opinion. Next fight, Neil Magny versus Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque is coming in on short notice. Neil Magny had a different matchup before this. Neil Magny's 21-8. He's a vet. He's a UFC vet. Vicente Luque is 15-6-1. We all know Neil Magny's going to have the height advantage, reach advantage. He usually does. Actually, fucking always does. But Neil Magny is just not an impressive fighter to me. He's a really cool dude. Like, he seems like he's a really cool dude and shit. I've watched interviews and shit of him, and I've watched his highlights. I've watched some of his fights before. But I mean, when it comes to fighting, I don't think Neil Magny's submission game is really going to get it done for him. I don't think his striking is going to get it done for him. Even with the reach advantage, it doesn't seem like Neil Magny really hits hard. Vicente Luque throws with force, man. When he throws something at you, he throws with force. He wants to knock your fucking head smooth off. Vicente Luque is going to get the job done. He's either going to TKO Neil Magny or he's going to get a decision win. I don't see him submitting Neil Magny, but I do see him fucking knocking him out cold. I see Vicente Luque knocking Neil Magny out cold, probably in the second round. Vicente Luque is no joke, man. He's no joke. His record says 15-6. That's not the best record, but I mean, This motherfucker's been on a tear. Like, he fought Jalen Turner and knocked him out, but that doesn't really mean anything. Jalen Turner was coming in on short notice, and he was going up a weight class. That wasn't even Jalen Turner's natural weight class. So, yeah, I'm rolling with Vicente Luque on this one all the way. Now we're off to the main event. Welterweight bout. Rafael Dos Anjos versus Kevin Lee. Rafael's ranked 3. Kevin Lee's ranked 7, but Kevin Lee's going up a weight class. He's going to welterweight now. This is going to be very beneficial for Kevin Lee, man. I've been a huge fan of Kevin Lee for a while now. He's 17-4. He's coming off of a loss. Rafael Dos Anjos is 28-11. Both of these fighters are really good. Rafael, I think I want to say he's coming off of a loss to, what is it, Colby Covington? Was his last fight Colby Covington? I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. I'm not going to look it up right now, though. But yeah, I mean, Kevin Lee has a really big reach advantage. He always has a reach advantage usually against people. He's got long arms. His wrestling is outstanding. His striking is not that good. I don't think Kevin Lee's striking is that good. His striking actually hasn't really even improved. We've seen that versus Ala Quinta. His striking didn't really improve, and he doesn't have any punching power. Like, Kevin Lee don't have no punching power, man. That's the problem. He don't have no punching power, and he has no chin. And when you got no chin and no punching power, the only way you get the job done is really submissions and groundwork and grinding someone out. Kevin Lee tends to gas out sometimes, though. I don't feel like this is going to be the case in this fight, though. Kevin Lee's not going to gas out in this fight for the simple fact he's going up a weight class. He's not cutting as much weight. He's going to be well prepared. Kevin Lee's hungry. He wants to get a win. He's coming back strong. Kevin Lee gets the dub. That's all I'm saying about that. Rafael Dos Anjos isn't going to beat Kevin Lee in this one. I don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening. Dos Santos is a fucking beast, but I don't see him beating Kevin Lee. Dos Santos' stand-up is better than Kevin Lee's, though. I'm gonna give it to him on that one. His stand-up's better, and I feel like he hits harder than Kevin Lee. So if Kevin Lee can play it smart, he's gonna win this shit. But yeah, those are my fight predictions. If you guys like my shit, subscribe. Sometimes I be on the UFC 3 game and shit. Getting down on there. You can add me, PooPooHead707. I do fight predictions on there occasionally too. So yeah, I mean, that's it.